So, everyone is here for this IT career seminar, right? We want to talk about cloud computing and cybersecurity. Cloud computing and cybersecurity. My name is Mukhtar Kabir. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mukhtar Kabir. I am a, let me see. I'm thinking of what I should start with. I work at AWS. I think I should start with this disclaimer. Many of you know me that I work at AWS as a full-time solutions architect. But please note that this event is not affiliated with AWS. Okay, this is me with my side project. Coming out, teaching cloud computing and cybersecurity, and trying to mentor others that want to become professionals in the cloud computing and cybersecurity space. Okay, well, that's not my bio yet. That's just a quick intro. The next slide here is now my bio and a short background story. Okay, so bio. Let me see here. Again, name Mukhtar Kabir. Education, Bachelor of Science degree, Computer Networks and Security from University of Maryland. Shout out to anyone that attended University of Maryland here. Let me know in the chat if you went to University of Maryland. Certifications. I have all the AWS professional level certifications. So that's the Solutions Architect Professional, as well as the DevOps Engineer Professional. Okay, that's in addition to the other certs I hold also. AWS, I hold about 4 certifications. I think one of them is expired, and that is my Certified Security Specialty. I do plan to resit that sometime soon. Okay, to recertify for that sometime soon. It expired, I think, last January. Okay, and that's my AWS Security Specialty. I didn't put that here because I need to recertify for that, but I did hold that, and it just recently, not recently, last January expired. Just to make sure I'm paying attention to my chat here on Zoom. Okay. Can just a mic check to make sure. Can everyone still hear me on Zoom? Can everyone still hear me on Zoom? Yes. Okay. Good. Perfect. How about on LinkedIn? I had Mark up helping me check at some point. Mark, where did you go? Okay, let me let Talha up here so he can help me check my mic on LinkedIn as well. Talha, can you hear me on LinkedIn? Can you hear me on LinkedIn, Talha? Okay, never mind. I can see my mic going green on LinkedIn, so I just want to make sure everyone can hear me as I move along. What about on Instagram? On Instagram Live, can you still hear me? Someone said I moved to Instagram. Can everyone still hear me on Instagram Live? Yes, okay, very good. All right, that's it. I'm no longer going to do any mic checks, okay? You can hear me on LinkedIn, you can hear me on Instagram, and you can hear me on Zoom. All right. So, let me just let you up again. All right. Moving on. Bio. I wanted to talk a little about my bio, right? So, if you haven't noticed already, I do have an accent, right? So where am I from? Some of you might be asking. There's some slight accents. I can hear some accent, right? I am originally from Nigeria. Okay, I am originally from Nigeria. I moved to the United States in 2010. I moved to the United States in 2010. I started at Montgomery College, Rockville. If anyone here went to Montgomery College, hi. So I went there. I started with an associate degree in electrical engineering. Right, I did that for about a year. I liked it. I passed all of my classes, calculus, my engineering courses. I didn't fail any of the classes, but I just didn't enjoy it. So sometimes I'll stay up, till midnight or to the next morning studying for like chemistry and physics exams. I wasn't really enjoying that. It was tough, right? But I was still trying to get my, make sure I, pass those classes. So I switched to networks and wireless technologies. Um, I think that was something I really, really enjoyed learning. There was some hands-on in the classes that I was taking for that. We were building cables, fiber cables, doing a lot of networking classes, security-related classes. So IT in general. So network and wireless technologies. You can say it's an IT major, right? So I switched to that while I was at Montgomery College, and then I went to um, I transferred, let me say, to University of Maryland University College. Okay, I transferred to University of Maryland University College, where I then studied computer networks and security. Okay, computer networks and security. I graduated from University of Maryland University College. Before I graduated, I landed a job at a company called Bozzuto. Right? So, like many people in IT, I also started as an IT help desk technician, right? So, your typical help desk work. So, if you're in the help desk field for now, just hold on. We'll talk about that at some point. Uh, and that's the purpose of this event as well, right? You want to hear my story, how I went from help desk to becoming a solutions architect at the, biggest cloud computing provider in the world. So IT help desk, I started as IT help desk. While being an IT help desk specialist, I, uh, while being an IT help desk specialist, I started to study for a lot of things. Okay, and one of those was the CISSP, because back in school at University of Maryland, actually at Montgomery College, right, I was hearing a lot about the CISSP, that people in the cybersecurity field, when they have the CISSP certification, it just makes them stand out, right? But there's a lot to that conversation, things about how it's a very difficult exam and it's very expensive. So fast forward, now I have a full-time job, right, as an IT help desk technician. And I was trying to get into the cybersecurity space, right? Like I wanted my title to be um I wanted my title to be cybersecurity something, right? So I kept on applying and applying and applying. And just like many of you on this call, I'm sure, like I wasn't even getting interviews, right? The interviews were not coming, even though I I did have on my resume clearly, right, that I have a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Networks and Security, Associate of Applied Science degree in Wireless Network and Technologies, big words, right? Uh, so the interviews weren't really coming, right? So I said, I have to make how will I put this? A very important, like drastic change. And what is this going to be? I'll keep it short. Um, I set a focus, I set my mind on pursuing the CISSP. Okay. So it took me about 2 years off and on, right? I'll say a year and a few months off and on. The last 7 months of that was like, being very serious about it. I bought books, I joined Facebook groups, and I have written an article on what I ended up using, right, to pass the CISSP exam. I know in these talks I always highlight this because I really feel like the CISSP really opened up a lot of opportunities and gave a lot of credibility to my resume. So note that down somewhere today. This is one thing you took out of this call. Just put that down somewhere on the side, right? CISSP, right? So I did that, and I added that on my resume. Now, take note that I didn't add on my resume that I passed the CISSP. I am CISSP certified. Okay. I only put on my resume that I had passed the CISSP exam because you need to show 5 years of experience, of work experience, in the information security space, right, to be fully CISSP certified. Okay. So just putting on my resume that I had, I sat and passed the CISSP, that really opened up a lot of opportunities in terms of the amount of interviews I started getting, right? I would apply to like 5 jobs and I'll get a call from like 2 or 3. Like, wow, right? This really was a game changer, okay? And then later on, I followed up with, the cloud security side of that certification, and that is the CCSP, the Certified Cloud Security Professional Certification. I think someone just drew on my slides via Zoom. I don't know how to erase this, but that's fine. I think we can still, that's good, as long as you can still see my screen. So moving on, right? So that's how the CISSP happened. That's how the CCSP happened. And also in that journey, right, I started also studying for the AWS certifications. Okay, at some point later on, I started studying for AWS certification because at that point, while I was at, actually I would say while I was at another company called Metrica, you know, I was hearing a lot more about cloud. Although I've heard of it before, but it wasn't as even more as I was hearing it on the job at when I was at a company called Metrica. So I was all about cloud computing, AWS. In fact, I went to another IT help desk interview, and they asked me about AWS, right? And this was before me getting that job at Metrica. So that really, also caught my interest in learning more about, AWS. So I bought Udemy courses. I started learning AWS as well at some point. So to keep my bio and background short, after graduating from college was when I seriously took up learning more about cloud computing and cybersecurity. Okay, and when I say cybersecurity, in terms of getting certified and becoming more noticed in in the sight of recruiters and employers. All right, so that's that. No, definitely. I just saw a question from Michael. Definitely the CISSP opened more doors than the CCSP. But of course, today with like cybersecurity and cloud security gaining more traction, I'm sure the CCSP may catch up at some point to the CISSP. But I think that will be a long time. Okay, so if you're really thinking right now, so which one should I start with if I really want to set myself and focus now on getting the CISSP or the CCSP? Definitely the CISSP. Okay. Definitely the CISSP. All right, so let's move on from my slides here. Again, if you're joining via LinkedIn or Instagram, the link to the slides you can find on the LinkedIn page for this event. Okay, I have posted the link in the comment section of. I know if you're not on Zoom, you cannot see my slide, but now I am on. I can see my slide number, but maybe I think this is probably slide number 3. What is cloud computing? Now we're going to talk about what is cloud computing. Okay, we're done with talking about my background. You can ask me more about my background later on in the Q&A section. Okay, there's still a lot about my background that I did not touch upon. I only covered what I could remember. But feel free if there's any question about what I said, the places I worked, the certifications. Feel free to hold that question till the end. We'll have about 25 minutes at the end to take your questions. All right. So what is cloud computing? So according to AWS, and you hear me talk about AWS a lot because when I talk about cloud computing, as the first recommendation for all of you on this call, I know some of you are joining from different parts of the world, but especially here in the United States, AWS is what's the right word here? Is it the de facto? Is that how you use that word? is like the cream of the crop in when it comes to talking about cloud computing. Okay. Um, so that's why, my talk will be focused more on AWS side of things. All right. Because this is what I do today full time. This is what I teach on the side, right? I focus mainly on AWS. Okay. And if you're in the United States and right now you're joining this call because you're confused on which one to learn, if you're in the US or I believe some parts of Europe as well, I heard before somewhere that Azure is more popular in Europe. I don't know if any of you know, like, I'm not sure about that. I don't live in Europe. But in the US, in parts of Africa, AWS is big. Okay. And as many of you already know, AWS now has even regions, right, in South Africa, a region in South Africa, I should say. Right, so AWS, we're going to focus on AWS as we're talking about cloud computing here. What is AWS? I just see a random question here. What is it? AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Okay, Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services is a platform, right, that hosts cloud computing services. Okay, so let's look at the definition first. Right, according to AWS, according to Amazon Web Services, right, which is the biggest cloud computing service provider platform in the world. Cloud computing is defined as the on-demand delivery of information technology resources via the internet with the pay-as-you-go pricing. Okay, so just to keep this short, let me make sure I'm doing good on time. Not before, even now, right? Companies still host their websites. Okay, websites, web applications, different types of services. But just to keep everyone on the same page here, right? Throughout this talk, right, I'm gonna use website more, okay? Because I think we all here, either you have a tech background or no tech background, you're familiar with websites, okay? So when I say websites, I mean web applications or whatever type of applications you host on online or in the cloud. Okay, so let me just start with website here. Okay, so in the past, companies want to host their websites, right, or their web applications, internal applications. They will need to buy a space. Okay, they will buy a data center. Okay, they will buy networking equipment. Okay, they will pay for staff to maintain the building, to maintain the HVAC, to maintain the networking. All right, and a host of other costs that comes with having your own what we call data center. Okay, think of that data center as where you host your websites. Okay, you have developers who would write your website for you as a company. You have developers, you have database administrators, you have networking engineers and all that, and they all work as part of your company, right, to help you build this application, make it secure and all that. And then you end up hosting that application in a data center. So in the past, a lot of companies used to have data centers. Okay, a lot of companies used to have data centers, and it used to cost a lot of money, right? All of the startups you see today would not have been possible if not for how cloud computing has come to make having a data center very, very, very inexpensive. So think about you being a company like 20, 30 years ago. You would need like a huge capital, right? You have an idea, you're coming up with this very big product, and you need a data center to host it, right? Uh, you're going to pay for marketing. You anticipate a lot of traffic to your website. So you need to make sure that you not only build a data center, you think about what we call disaster recovery as well, right? You're going to have two data centers. Okay, so it's going to cost you a lot of money to be able to do that. Now, fast forward today that we have cloud computing. All of that responsibility on you to get a data center, to put in all of the tech gears that you need, routers, switches, networking equipment, all the different tools and services you need, on those servers. Fast forward today, you don't need that upfront capital, okay, to buy the data center and all of those gears and all of that, you can pay by the second, okay, to rent those today. Okay, you can pay by the second to rent those today. So take for example now, and I'm going to quickly summarize with this slide. I have a website today, okay, that I need to host so that all of you can go to my website and buy the different services that I offer. Okay, maybe let's say I'm selling shoes on the website, okay, or I'm selling clothing or anything like that. Right now, I don't have to have like $200,000 or $1 million to go and purchase data centers. Okay, with the cloud, I can write my application today and host it today and have 1 million people visit my website today. Okay, and I'm only going to pay by the second of resources that I use with a cloud provider. So these cloud providers, Amazon Web Services, you might have heard this a lot, AWS, right? Azure, right? Google Cloud Platform. These are all cloud providers, cloud service providers that now allow us to, let me use it, please, excuse me using this word, right? Rent a data center, okay? So these cloud service providers allow you to, quote unquote, rent data centers so that you can deploy applications, okay, so that you can deploy your applications without needing that upfront cost. Right now, this exploded the startup industry. Right, that means you and I can sit today and think of an idea. Right, let's say maybe for example we're developers. Right, we've thought about this great tool that's going to help millions of people, but we need money, right, to host this application once we're done building it. Right, today you and I can sit down, write this application, or have someone from somewhere else write this application for us, and we can host it today in AWS and have it up in minutes. Okay, and have it up and running in minutes and do our marketing and expose the website, and now we have millions of people go to the website. All of that we can do in one day. Okay, that's now possible. Before, it would take you weeks and months because you need to order like networking gear, you need to order switches, routers, and don't forget the most important thing, the servers. Okay, you need to order the servers. So companies today still do that, okay, those that are not in the cloud yet, and it's only a matter of time. If you're working at a company today, at a tech company, whatever company, I'm sure you may have heard at some point about discussions to maybe move to the cloud for some of the companies that you work in, right? So it's only a matter of time before other companies see that, look, our competitors are way, ahead of us because they're leveraging cloud services, right, to do things like AI, ML, to improve their applications, and they're just getting more customers, and their website doesn't go down and all of that, right? So as other companies that are not in the cloud see how their competitors are like doing great hosting their workloads in the cloud, they also start to think about moving to the cloud, right? And that's why you keep seeing tons of jobs today, right, on LinkedIn, on Indeed, asking if you have any cloud experience. Remember I mentioned when I started, I had a help desk job asking me if I if I knew about AWS. So it's never too late. You can definitely go ahead and start today, and that's why we're here. So that's in a nutshell cloud. I hope that makes it easy for some of you that maybe were not familiar with this before to now understand the benefit of cloud. Okay, again, to summarize, you don't need companies don't need a lot of money to build data centers anymore, right? They can just go into the AWS console today and host their application. Okay, it doesn't matter how many the amount of visitors they expect on their website. They can build their website and host it on AWS and do things like disaster recovery, and also use other artificial intelligence and machine learning services to augment their applications and make it even more powerful. All right, so that's that. Moving on to my next slide here. Why learn cloud computing? Okay, I think some of this would have made sense from the previous slide, right? Why learn cloud? Because everyone is moving to the cloud, right? Let's just keep that simple. But what do I have here? Let's see. So in the next slide here, on why learn cloud, it's in very high demand. Okay, it's in very high demand. I'm going to pause here. I just want to do a quick check. For those of you that are on LinkedIn and Zoom and LinkedIn and Instagram, were you able to open the link to the slides? Can someone just quickly chat in the LinkedIn live? Are you able to open the slides and also see the slide that I'm going through? Because I know only those on Zoom can see this slides live right now. Anybody from okay, good. All right, you're able to open the link to the slide, and thank you, DJNI. All right, awesome. Okay, so moving on, it's in very high demand, right? Companies want to move to the cloud. Okay, the benefits just outweighs you trying to own your own data center today, right? One of the biggest things as well is some companies, right? They sell to companies that hold sensitive data very seriously, right? For example, I have a website where I can help your own website collect credit cards, right? And for that, I need to make sure that my application, is compliant with some type of laws and regulations, right? If I'm doing this by myself, it'll be very, very expensive for me to make sure that my application is compliant with, for example, PCI DSS, GDPR, or with some frameworks like SOC. For those of you that understand all of these terminologies, right? With cloud, because I'm leveraging a cloud provider service or services, typically what you do is the services that you choose, you make sure that they're compliant with those laws or frameworks and all regulations, right? So that way I don't have to pay, right, to have auditors come into my own data center and do all of that checking, which costs a lot of money, right? So you can see another advantage here that companies are seeing in moving to the cloud, right? Because it's easy to inherit the compliance certifications of those cloud providers, all right? Actually, these are actually tips I'm giving you. For some of you that are maybe already in the field and, you have your interviews coming, these are really great tips for your interviews as well. These questions might come up as well, right? Who knows? All right. So it's in very high demand. Come back to what I was saying. It's in very high demand. Average salary is over $100,000 a year. Yes. I have 116 people listening live now on LinkedIn, and I don't know if this is accurate. About 12 on Instagram Live, and then over 60 on Zoom. Yes. The average salary of cloud professionals is 6 figures. Okay, it's over $100,000, right? And I'm also telling you this because I have trained and mentored people who came with zero tech background, and they're now making 6-figure salaries. Okay, but of course this comes with patience, perseverance, and grit. Right? More about grit later on. All right, there's a video I wanted to share with all of you, a 6-minute video about grit. I really encourage all of you to watch that video. Okay. All right, so moving on, right? So yeah, average salary is 6-figure salary. It's 6 figures, over $100,000 a year. Look it up, right? Fact check me on that. Google it and see what results you find. Offers career growth opportunities. Yes, in this type of field, you're not limited to only doing one thing. Okay, you can expand, right? You can learn about databases in the cloud. You can become a cloud network expert. You can become a cloud security expert, which is where I'm more into, okay, cloud security. So if you have a networking background, there's a place for you. If you have a security background, if you have come on, help me out somewhere else, storage background, right? There's a place for you here in cloud computing. So don't say, oh, but you know what? I only did NetApps in my previous jobs. I only did storage, NAS, SAN, all of that. Is there a space for me in cloud? Absolutely. Okay, if there's space for people that are coming with no technical background, of course, there is space for you here in cloud. Okay, many cloud roles offer remote work. Yes. Some of you are here also because you want to see, does this cloud computing or cybersecurity offer remote work? Most of the jobs, right? Most of the jobs offer remote work. Of course, I know it depends. Yes, it depends on the employer, right? And that, I would say, during an interview, bring that up, right? At least they should give you at least, come on now, 2 days or three. Even if they're not give you, if they're not going to give you all the 5 days, 2 days, 3 days to work from home, because these jobs really do allow us to work from home. Okay, I've been working from home now for over 3 years. Okay, and I'm working full time working from home. I don't have to go into the office unless we have like team events or things like that. Then I'll go into the office, right? If I want to. Okay, but these jobs, most of them do allow you to work remotely, right? So parents, dad, moms, right? You're able to, be around, I don't know, whatever benefit you get from, working from home, be at home, relaxed, right? No, like, the benefits that comes with working from home, right? Especially for those of you that may have kids, maybe not in school yet, things like that, right? So some companies are very understanding, and they will allow you to work from home, right? Because yes, you can do these jobs, you can do them from home, right? So they give you these opportunities, but I'm pretty sure it's rare to get a job that will give you 5 days full off. Um, but some will give you at least 2, 3 days, and you can also, don't forget, you can negotiate during your interviews. All right. That's that. Um, diverse roles. So there are different roles within the field. And now we're talking about cloud computing. So you can become a solutions architect, like I am today, right? Or you can become a cloud engineer, right? You can become what we call a cloud administrator, okay? Cloud developer, right? If you're coming from a software background, you probably become more of a cloud developer. Um, so, all right. What else? Why learn AWS? Let me see. How am I doing on time? Okay, I need to talk a little faster here. Um, why learn AWS? For the 12th consecutive time, AWS is the leader, right? According to Gartner, right? According to Gartner, AWS for the 12th consecutive year is the leader. Okay? AWS holds the biggest market share, and I just looked this up yesterday. Okay, if you have access to my slides, again, which I've linked in the comment section of the event page on LinkedIn, you can click these links that you're seeing, right? The links, if it's underlined, then it's a link. Okay, so click on that and see where I got this information from. So AWS holds the biggest market share. So that's why for most of the jobs you see, AWS is usually there. Okay, there's a requirement for you to like hold certain AWS certifications or have knowledge of AWS, right? And sometimes they'll be specific and they'll say EC2, RDS, S3. I'm sure some of you have seen this in this job posts. All right, it's the most sought after cloud certification in the industry. Yes, AWS. You see well, depending on how many people you have on LinkedIn, you see a lot of people, right, on LinkedIn posting, they just passed their certification, they're studying for their certification. And what certification are they talking about? Most likely AWS. Okay, I, see this a lot, right? And I have over, I think, close to 8,000 connections and 10,000 followers now on LinkedIn. We'll talk about following me on LinkedIn or connecting with me on LinkedIn later on. But yeah, so it is the most sought after cloud certification in the industry, especially if you're here in the US. And right now you're watching me or listening to me, you're confused about which one to start with. Definitely AWS. Okay, AWS. Unless, and I say this, right, unless you're at a company that's very heavy on Azure or GCP, right, and you know that you can work your way up by maybe getting an Azure certification or GCP certification, then I think my advice there for you is then learn Azure, right? Because maybe you're already there. It's easy for you to switch teams, right? Maybe after learning and doing hands-on labs and projects and learning about Azure, you know for a fact that your company is very big on Azure, so learn Azure because that will be easier for you in that direction. Okay, but if you're looking to like move out, leave that company, find other jobs here in the US or wherever you are watching or listening from me from, then I'd recommend AWS. I recommend AWS. What else do I have here on the slide? Very user friendly. Yes. For me, I've tried other platforms, right? I must say that AWS, and I'm not saying it because I also work at AWS, but I don't know. Feel free to disagree with me on this. This is fine. It's just my personal preference here. That I think in terms of the UI, right? In terms of what you're going to be working with on the job, in terms of the console, right? The AWS page itself, and you click in here and click in there, and configuring things that you need to get your website up, or to build a disaster recovery solution. I think AWS, really pays big attention to the UI, okay, and they make it very easy. They provide wizards, right? You just click, 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 done, right? Like magic, right? It's done, and what you need to get done, it's there, it's working, it's tested, as you have seen me do in some of my YouTube videos, right? All right, so that's why I would say learn AWS, right? Easy to learn. It's the biggest in the industry. There's more opportunities for you if you learn AWS. All right, so next what do I have here? So this is the Gartner thing I got from AWS. Gartner Cloud Infrastructure and Cloud Platform Services Magic Quadrant. Okay, as you can see, AWS is there at the top, and you can see others at the bottom. All right. What else? So all current AWS certifications. What certifications does AWS provide? Here they are. Foundational, CCP. If you're coming with no tech background at all, right? So let's say you don't have a tech background like I did, right? You're coming from maybe a sociology background. I don't know. I think I say sociology a lot when I host these talks. It's because I actually had a student that I trained and mentored. He joined one of my live trainings, and I mentored him. And he came with a sociology background. So he graduated, right, with a sociology background, and he ended up, getting a very big job at a big tech company, making six-figure salaries, and he was able to, get one of these certs. Actually, it wasn't a cloud professional. He went straight for the Solutions Architect Associate, right? And that brings me to my other point, right? I know a lot of people start with cloud practitioner, and if you're coming with no tech background, I would recommend cloud practitioner as well. But is it possible for you to skip cloud practitioner and go straight to the Solutions Architect Associate? From the example of this person I just gave, you can see that it is very, very possible, right? He had a sociology background, and he was able to go straight to the Solutions Architect Associate certification, study for that exam. He passed. Of course, did a lot of hands-on, in my course and all that. And I helped him with his resume, mock interviews and all that, and he got a job, right? At a big tech company. Let's keep it that way. And apart from that foundational ones, as you can see here on this slide, there are others as well. The associate level ones. For the associate level ones, right? Even if you're coming from other backgrounds, right? Networking, let's say you're already in tech, right? And you're coming from like a databases background or networking background, and you're like, which associate one should I start with? My immediate answer for you is the Solutions Architect Associate. Okay, don't jump to the developer or sysops. Do not do that. At least as a recommendation from myself to you, start with the Solutions Architect Associate. Okay, put that down also in your notes somewhere. All right, now moving on. And then you have the specialty certs, okay, and the professional level. The professional level ones, I have all of those already. All thanks and praise to God, as I always say. Those are very difficult exams, and some of you saw me post on LinkedIn recently of me recertifying for the Solutions Architect Professional exam. Okay, so I first got the exam I first passed the exam 3 years ago, and then it expired, and I had to take it this January. Okay, for some reasons I really had to take it before it expired. Okay, so I took it a day before it expired, and all thanks to God, I passed it again on my first attempt. Okay, but although those exams are difficult, you know, don't have that mindset. Okay, even writing the exam, I was like, I was saying to myself, this is very difficult, right? But at the end of the day, if you put in the work, if you use the right resources, just go in the exam and do your best, right? But I want you all to put down in your note as a target. Yes, some of you might start with the cloud practitioner. Yes, some of you might jump to the solutions architect associate, but have a goal to achieve a professional level certification. It will make you stand out from others, okay? It will really, really make you stand out from others. If you're not trying to go the information security route, cybersecurity, I talked about CISSP earlier, you want to do more cloud, then set a goal, right? Put down in your notes now as well, I need to pursue the solutions architect professional, okay? And follow me on LinkedIn, join my Telegram channel. I'll share links to all of this later on. Reach out to me. I provide resources, make videos like this, events like this to talk through this, things and, help you navigate. All right. So that's that for that slide. Oh my goodness. I'm just looking at the time right now. All right. So here are the 15 top paying certifications of 2022. All right. I added this for all of you so it's easy for you to see. Where is it? So there you have it. All right. And I put this the source for this at the bottom. Okay. Source. Click here. If you click that here right there, it'll take you to where I got this. Okay. It's a company that is quoted by Forbes magazine, right, and other big websites. It's a website that does this survey to find out how much people are really earning in cybersecurity, cloud computing, and other tech fields. So the result speaks for itself, as you all can see here. If you have a solutions architect professional certification, you're earning big. Yes. I mean, I know some of you will be shocked, right? When you get the certifications and you do an interview and they give you an offer, and you're someone who perhaps was making 60K before or 70K before, and you see in your offer letter 100 and something thousand, just know that yes, it was worth it. All the hard work and sleepless nights that you put in, it pays off, right? And don't listen to those that tell you not to work to consider certifications. Okay, you need both. You need experience and certifications. Okay, you need experience and certifications, right? Experience will come with time. And that's why, as part of this, I tell people that, look, if you're just trying to get in and you get a job that offers you $70,000, or look, I know somebody might be like, no, that's too low. Yes, $50,000, take it. I'm telling, take it and get your foot in the door. Before you know it, in 2 years, in 3 years, you'll be getting those six-figure offers as well. Okay, especially when you then maybe gotten your solutions architect professional certification, right? And you're able to show that on your resume as well. All right, so that's that. These are the salaries, as you can see there as well. I highlighted for those that have the associate certifications. Take note that these are average. Okay, these are average. If this is going to be your first job in tech and it's a cloud job, okay, and they're offering you 50,000. I know some companies would do that because you're junior, you're entry level. Take it, okay? Take it and get your foot in the door. Now that's that. Let's move on. What does a solutions architect do? Some of you are curious. What do I do? You all, for those of you that follow me on LinkedIn, on my Telegram channel, or that know me, you know that I'm a full-time solutions architect, right? Working at Amazon Web Services. But again, please, if you didn't join from the beginning, a disclaimer: whatever I say here, my ideas, thoughts, whatever I'm mentioning here, it's not affiliated with AWS, okay? That's my full-time job. This is me, all right? What does the solutions architect do, right? So build highly scalable, flexible, and resilient cloud architectures. You may have seen me do this in my YouTube videos, right? I tell you about how we're hosting a dynamic application, how we're hosting a static application, right? And I show you exactly how to do that, right? How to make your website secure and all of that. So that's literally some of the things you're going to be doing, right? And for some of the companies that you're going to get a job at, you're not actually doing this for the company. You're doing this for their clients. So keep that in mind, okay? As a solutions architect or as a cloud engineer, some companies will call you their solutions architect. Some companies will call you this cloud engineer. Some will give you, I don't know, some other name, right? Systems engineer, whatever it is. At the end of the day, some of the functions are similar. Right? Job functions are similar, right? So you build highly scalable, flexible, highly available architectures. You recommend solutions, right? You're coming in as the cloud expert, right? You need to know about the new services, right? So in this field, there's no sleeping. Okay, you have to be someone that loves to, as we say here at AWS, learn and be curious. That's very important. Okay, it's not something you learn and you're done, and on the job you just start using what you learn. No, no, no. You're gonna have to keep learning. Okay, and it's very easy. All right, it's very easy. And I do plan to do Instagram Reels and shorts and YouTube shorts, to bring you all into my life as a solutions architect. Right? What did I work on today? Of course, I'm never going to be sharing like any customer, personal information, anything like that. I'll just give you an idea. Like, look, this is something you can face on the job, okay? And this is how you should fix it. This is how you should resolve it. So you get that, thumbs up from your manager, from your boss, okay? So make sure you follow me, okay, on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and I'll more details on that at the end, right? So you recommend solutions, know about new technologies, right? Know what to do when there's a problem statement, okay? What services am I going to put together to make sure that we achieve this goal that we're looking for? All right. So that's that. What else? Work with other teams. Work with your developers. Work with security. Work with your auditors. When building these solutions. Okay. When building these solutions. I'm sorry, I see a lot of messages on Zoom, but I'm actually just focusing on the slides right now. Don't worry. Again, we'll have some time at the end for Q&A, and I'll try to see what I may have missed on Zoom. All right. So moving on. So that's that for what you do. Some of the cloud roles: cloud support engineer, junior cloud administrator, associate solutions architect, junior cloud developer. And now let's switch gears to cybersecurity and cloud security. Okay, I know we don't have enough time left. This event is scheduled to end at 3:30, right? But let's move a little faster now. It's high in demand. So why a role in cybersecurity? And when I say cybersecurity, as I've explained before in one of these talks, is I want you to think more of cloud security. Okay, I want you to think more in terms of cloud security. Okay, because as many companies are moving to the cloud, as we've said, they are going to be looking for cloud security experts, right? At the end of the day, as an umbrella term, we call it cybersecurity, right? But as more and more companies are moving to the cloud, we're going to be seeing a lot more change, right, in how companies, use that term, right? We're looking for a cloud security architect. We're looking for a cloud security professional, engineer, right? So I'll be talking more in line of cloud security in this space, okay? So it's in high demand. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment of information security analysts is projected to grow 35% from 2021 to 2031. Okay, so a big growth in terms of being in the information security space. All right, competitive salary as well, right? For cloud security professionals, the average is over 6 figures as well. All right, great opportunities for growth, same as being a solutions architect or a cloud engineer. Remote work opportunities as well, right? If you get a job and you're doing cloud security related work, right? Most of it you can do remotely, right? So some of those jobs will offer that flexibility of you working remotely, right? All right, and of course diverse roles as well, right? The different areas of cloud security, right? Compliance. You could be someone who's more focused on compliance. You can be someone else who's focused more on privacy, right? And then or you could be a cloud security architect, right? You work with solutions architects to build secure solutions, right? You recommend threat detection services. You recommend how you're going to implement, DDoS protection, right, into those architectures. All right. So moving on, here when it comes to talking about cloud security, I've highlighted here the salaries of these individuals, right? The average salary, right, of cloud security, cybersecurity professionals. As you can see here on this list, and if you're asking me where did I get this list from, the link again is below this slide. It's right beneath. All right. So the CISSP, as you can see, those that hold the CISSP certification, they make over $150,000 a year, right? And those that hold the AWS Certified Security Specialty certification, close to $150,000 a year, right? So that's that. If you're looking for what, maybe some of you here are already cloud engineers, you want to move into the security space, take note of these two certs that I have right here. I have both of them, right? But of course, I mentioned earlier that the second one, my AWS Certified Security Specialty one, has expired. But I do plan to go reseat that exam, and hopefully I pass on my first attempt again. But yeah, these two certs, just make sure that you have them, okay? And you know what I actually do in my resume, right? Even though the cert is expired, doesn't mean that you take it off. I still have it on my resume, but of course I put there expired, right? And then maybe a note that and if they ask me about it, yeah, when do the recruiters will see that in your resume, and they will say, do you plan to recertify sometime? Yeah, I plan to recertify in the next few months or next week or something like that, okay? But the fact that it's expired doesn't mean that I take it out of my resume. And that's a note for you as well, all right? It shows that I have done it before and I can do it again, okay? And there's a high chance that I can do it again, okay? All right, so what else do I have here? So these are the certs to focus on if you're looking to go into the cloud security, cybersecurity space. All right. What does a cybersecurity cloud security professional do? Design and implement security solutions. All right, and I kind of touched upon this earlier. Leverage cloud security services. All right. For example, on AWS, know about guard duty. These are services, security services that AWS provides, right? Guard duty, security hub, inspector, right? Read the security section of the AWS well-architected framework, right, before your interview. If you have a cloud security interview coming up, especially if it's AWS related, don't attend that interview unless you read the security section of the AWS well-architected framework. Okay, that's my recommendation. Okay, that's my recommendation for you. So some of the things you do as a cloud security professional, is create automated response and remediation actions, right? So, for example, let's say you have a dashboard where you're monitoring events, right, from different sources in your environment, right? You need to be able to build automated actions, right? Some of these are created as templates for you. So the work has been made very, very easy compared to how things were done before. Okay, with the cloud platform, the cloud providers themselves are building AI ML services that makes the work of security professionals extremely easy. You don't sit down hours looking through logs, trying to make sense out of it, right? They're already helping us build tools that use AI ML to show us, look, this is where you should pay attention to. Look, this is where so it makes our work very, very easy. And that's why companies are adopting these cloud security services a lot more these days, because they leverage AI ML, right? And with you coming with that knowledge of knowing how to use that service and how to help your company, monitor this, find security events, threats, and all of that, it really sets you apart, right? And makes you the man for the job. As a cloud security professional, you want to make sure that you also stay up to date on latest security trends, right? So maybe, things that you might hear on an interview, right, would be things like, so tell us about how you stay updated on security events, right? There are different websites, right, online. There's actually also a very popular Telegram group. I forgot, I don't have the name at the top of my head. I quickly go into that once in a while, right, to see like the latest news, security news, breaches and all of that. CSO Online also provides, cybersecurity news. Forbes has a section as well. So a lot. All right. What else? Teams in cybersecurity. So when you are looking to go into the cybersecurity, cloud security space, you hear a lot about teams, right? Blue team, purple team, red teams. Now, I'm just going to say one thing here in this slide. Okay, I'm going to say one thing here in this slide. Blue teams, I would recommend you think about starting in a blue team, right? So you are part of the team that is just working to keep the system safe, right? You're not on the other side, trying to break into the systems. That might be a little difficult to get into, especially if you're just trying to get in, right? So I want you to have in the back of the mind that I'm going into the cloud security or cybersecurity space as a blue team member, okay? As a blue team member. This is much, much easier. We'll make it much, much easier for you to get in as a cloud security analyst, SOC analyst, okay? So think blue team, all right? So some of the skills is network monitoring, data analysis, risk assessment, threat detection, and all of this, again, all of these different skills, it's easy for you to do because of the tools that cloud service providers provide for us today, all right? In order to do this network monitoring and data analysis and all of this, to see anomalies and things like that, all right? So the work becomes much, much easier. So I don't want you all to think rocket science, right? Or calculus, or, differential equations, or how would you call it, okay? Nothing that complicated, all right? The work is much, much easier today, thanks to the advancement in AI, ML. It's easier for us to look at our logs and just, have the service tell us where should we focus our attention on. All right. So where to go from here? I'm almost done with my slides. Almost done with my slides. And again, I see a lot of questions on Zoom. I'm seeing your chats live on Instagram. So just give me a few seconds. I'll open the floor, to start taking your questions. Hopefully I can answer your questions. But of course, I won't be able to take everyone's questions. So please forgive me if I'm not able to get to you. All right, so where to go from here? My recommendation. All right, have grit. There's a lot here, right? Have grit, right? Watch that video if you want to know what grit is, right? Don't look down on your background. Like, no, this is a tech background. It's not for me. It's going to be too difficult. Please, 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 I recommend you watch that video, okay? You see that video on that list? On this list right here, if you're just joining me from all of the platforms, the link to this slide is on the LinkedIn page of this event. Okay, if you go to the LinkedIn page for this event, I put the link of this slide here. Also, after this call, I will post it in the comment section on Instagram, and also on, well, everyone on Zoom already has it. I posted it on Zoom as well. So let me just make sure again. So never mind, I'll take care of that later on. But you on Zoom, you're seeing me live. Go through the slides. I'll post it after I finish now. I'll post a link to the slides for all of you to have access to on Zoom as well. And also, I'm recording it. I'll post it on my YouTube channel sometime after the event. All right, so let's quickly wrap up. Right, watch that great video. Right, it's very important. That's why I put it number 1 as part of my recommendation. Right. When I said where to go from here, my recommendations, look at what I'm putting as number 1. Have grit. Watch that video. It's a 6-minute video. Find a mentor if you can, right? For how many people now listening to me on LinkedIn? 106 or 7 people listening to me on LinkedIn. Look, if you're working at a company right now, let's say, I don't know, it's a very big company, you're looking to move up, to a cloud computing or cybersecurity or within your company, see if you can find a mentor. See if you can find a mentor at your company, right? To help you, right? Know what you should learn, what to do and all of that. I provide mentorship with the live classes I host. So usually in a year, once or twice a year, I host live classes, okay, via my website. and I'll share that with you all later on. Okay, I'll share the website via a QR code, so you all can use your phones and go straight to the website and sign up if you're interested. Okay, I cannot mentor thousands of people a year. All right, so that's why these classes are very limited. Right, so 30 to maximum of, I would say, 40 students. Right, I bring them in for a live session. Right, and you see me as your mentor. Okay, you have my contact information, so you can reach out to me, talk to me about your progress. What can I help you with? Do you need a referral? Because, and you can put me down on your resume as a reference, because I've worked with you personally. Right, I see the amount of work you can put in. Right, your determination when you set your mind to something. So this class, finding a mentor is very, very important, and I do provide mentorship. And of course, yes, you all might have guessed right. That's not free. Okay, it is not free. You find more information about it on my website. But that's if you're able to get into a live class. If the class is sold out, then my next session could be maybe towards the end of the year or sometime next year, God willing. All right, so be consistent when you're studying. Let's say you're someone that is self-motivated, right? You can buy courses online and just study on your own and all that. Great, right? Just make sure you set some time for yourself, right? Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself procrastinating a lot, right? At least a minimum I recommend 30 minutes a day of studying. Okay, and also in light of that, if you're not able to afford or join my live class, and by afford, I mean, by afford, I mean, for some of you, based on the country that you're in, it might be a little too expensive at $500, right, for the 5-day intensive live training course with mentorship. But what that also comes with is I have an on-demand course, right? Some of you are already part of that on-demand course, right? Where these are pre-recorded classes, right? Courses, I should say. So I bundle them up. I'm teaching Linux, AWS, cybersecurity, and cloud security. I'm still building this, right? And if you join now, right, you can get a free 30-day trial of this course. It's not live. Again, it's on Teachable, right? You can watch it at any time, anywhere. If you join right now, you get 30-day free trial, and after that, it's going to be $4.99. But when the course is complete, okay, it's going to go from $4.99 to $7.99 a month. I'm not saying $4.99 or $7.99. $7.99, $4.99. So if you join now, if your 1 month free trial ends, and then you start getting charged $4.99 per month for that on-demand course. Okay, but for the live session, if you're able to join my current session that is happening starting February 4th, then I'll give you a lifetime permanent access to that on-demand course, so you never have to pay that monthly fee. Okay, and you get the updates and all of that to that course as well. All right, so that's that. Please feel free to read all of the remaining here. Stay motivated by reading my article. Don't be tempted to find shortcuts. I always tell people this, right? As a final advice for all of you, just try to be honest in everything you do, right? Sincerity, honesty, whatever word, it really goes a long way, right? And I'm saying this in terms of, don't look into getting exam dumps if you're looking to sit for certification exams. And also, don't put false information on your resumes, okay? Just be honest, and trust me, really great things will come your way, okay? Really, really great things will come your way. All right, finally, connect with me on LinkedIn, okay? Follow my pages on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check out my hands-on training. So here's the slide here for my hands-on training. The website, as you all can see at the bottom, is very easy to remember. YesCertified.com. Okay, YesCertified.com. If you want to sign up and have me as your one-on-one mentor, you will have my contact information. Ask me about, whatever, challenges you're facing as you're studying, maybe also going through my courses or anything like that. So after the live class, it doesn't end there, right? We keep in touch. Okay, I'm gonna give you some things to do to challenge you, right? To make sure that if I'm going to stand for you, that look, I know this person is determined, that this, that, I'm referring them, then I need to make sure that, you're someone that I've really, really worked with, right? And that comes, you get a benefit of working with me in that one-on-one sense if you sign up for my live class. So all the information about that, my live class or my on-demand class, is on that website, yescertified.com. Okay, yescertified.com. You can use your phone right now if you're joining via Zoom. Or you can use your phone to just go to the website using that QR code right there. All right. So next, some of you are wondering, so if I'm teaching also cloud computing and cybersecurity and cloud security, what are the courses? What are some of the topics that I cover, right? So here I just put a slide here. Those are the topics that I cover, okay, and that's also the topics that I cover in cybersecurity and cloud security as well. What else? My Telegram channel has over 14,000 subscribers. Okay, so I highly recommend you join my Telegram channel as well. Daily quizzes, resources to help you succeed in the field. So that's that. You have those in my slides. Those are the links to my social media channels, right? Take note, for the Twitter, there's a 1 after Yes Certified, okay? So for the Twitter one, I wasn't able to get Yes Certified, but I was able to add 1 and get that one, okay? So that's that. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you staying till the end. So now I'm going to open the floor on Zoom. So here's what I'm gonna do. If you're on LinkedIn, the first three people on LinkedIn, I'll allow to ask questions, and also on Zoom, okay? And also on Zoom, let me see if I can unmute. So I have Peter and Isosa. Okay, just give me 1 second. Peter and Isosa, I'll bring you up to ask your questions. Let me just take a look at Zoom real quick. All right. When is this class starting? So if you're asking about my live class, it is starting February 4th. Okay? It's starting February 4th. All right. Now, I must say that I do look for a minimum number of students to host that, and I mentioned this in the registration link. All right. So there's a minimum number of students that I look for. If that's not achieved, that class will be canceled. Okay. I just want to be fully transparent with you all. Okay. So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up. Okay. But please keep that in mind. All right. You'll be fully refunded if that happens. Okay. You'll be fully refunded if that happens. What else? I'm just looking at some of the questions here. How do we register? Yescertified.com. That's how you register, and that's how you find the link to my on-demand course as well. Okay. What else did I miss here? Kindly share your YouTube channel link and where you upload videos. Okay. Yeah, I'll share that later on. I'm actually switching my YouTube channels. So I will post it on the Telegram channel. Okay, for up-to-date information, I always tell people, join my Telegram channel. Okay, members in the Telegram channel do not see your phone number. So if you're joining the Telegram channel, other members do not see your phone number. Just take note of that. All right, join the Telegram channel. Subscribe to the emails to receive emails on my website. But I think the easiest way to get updates from me is the Telegram channel. Right, it's a Telegram channel. Does AWS require coding? I get this question a lot, right? Do you need to be a developer? No, you don't have to, right? Although I did learn some Java when I was in Nigeria, and when I got here, I did buy some Udemy courses on Python and all of that. But I never had a full-time coding job. Okay, so to be a solutions architect, you don't have to be a developer, right? You don't have to know how to code. full time, right? But I do always say have basic knowledge, right? And I did share in one of my videos, right, a 5 hour YouTube video, and I have shared a post on LinkedIn before as well, right, on a Python course, YouTube course, that, free, right, that I highly recommend for you to watch. So in your resume, you do want to at some point say that you have, familiarity, right, with Python or Java, right? But you're not selling yourself as, you develop XY applications at XYZ job, right? So you just want to say that you do know basic Java, you know some basic Python. If you're wondering Java or Python, Python. Okay, I recommend you learn Python. Okay, and you're not learning it to be a software developer. Okay, you're just learning it to have basic understanding of it. All right, so that's that. All right, so let me bring this person up. All right, is this Isosa?
Yes, Isosa. How's it going?
Good, good. Yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's your question?
no, for sure. So just kind of curious, from your experience, like, what are the books that you've, like, some of your favorite books on cloud security that you've read? Just kind of wanted to know what your recommended books are.
Wow, great question. Recommended books on cloud security. I would say uh, they are the books that I use for my CSSP exam. Right? And that is the Cybex CCSP book. Okay.
Cybex.
Yeah, Cybex. But one thing I would say though, is when it comes to like the real experience, it has been on the job for me, right? So I work a lot with AWS security services, right? Guard Duty,
Okay.
Security Hub, and all of those I will be teaching in my cloud security course. As you all saw in my slides, right? I put what I'm going to be covering in that course. So I'll teach what I know, right, in that area. But when it comes to
Yeah.
books, to come back to your question, it is the Cybex CCSP book. I do have some other books in class in security that I bought. I haven't really read all of it, but I don't have the names at the top of my head right now. But they're books on different things, cloud architectures and all that. But I can share some of this list if people are interested. I can share that as a post one of these days. uh,
All right, perfect.
all right,
That'll
thanks.
be good.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks
All
a
right,
lot, man.
thanks. All right. So next person here. Let me take. Sorry, actually, let me switch between LinkedIn just to be fair. Let me switch between LinkedIn and Zoom and Instagram Live. Okay. So the next question here is. This is Amin. He's a data center technician looking to further his career in cloud computing. Allows you to move different teams after. Oh, I mean, since you work at AWS, you know what? Reach out to me internally. Okay, I think this requires a long conversation. All right, you're asking internal stuff, so don't worry. Let's talk internally on Slack. Okay. All right. So yeah. Reach out to me on Slack. Uh, yeah, and I'll see what I can do to help you. All right. So let me see here. I have another person here, Peter. Actually, no. LinkedIn Live. All right. What's the next question here on LinkedIn? On Instagram Live, sorry. Any question on Instagram Live before I jump back to LinkedIn? Any question on Instagram Live? Okay. So I'm going to go to LinkedIn. All right. Path of. Okay. What's your question? What's your question? You have to type it. If you're on Instagram Live, you have to type a question. Uh, Okay. All right. When is the class starting? February 4th. Okay. If you're asking about my live class, February 4th. But for the on-demand class, you can join at any time. Okay. You can join at any time. Just go to that website, yescertified.com, and sign up. Yeah. I mean, please message me on LinkedIn. Okay. And I'll give you my Slack handle because that's, for work. So I'll give my Slack handle just because we both work there. So yeah, I'll send it to you so you can reach out to me. Okay. So I mean, message me on Slack on LinkedIn, and I'll send you my Slack handle. All right. Let me also allow another. So let me allow someone else up. So here I have on Insta on LinkedIn, Akoswa. Please go ahead and ask your question. You're currently on mute, so I think you need to unmute and ask your question. Let me also allow Peter up because I see Peter has been here for a while as well.
Okay. Well, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, hi everyone. Hi, Mota.
Hey.
I remember about a little over a year ago.
Yes.
I reached out to you regarding a class that you were putting up, but I didn't, get any feedback. I was wondering if in the class is open for cloud security. I'm in vulnerability management as of now, but I have been looking to get myself involved with cloud security as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is your class full, or has it even been open, and how can I join?
So for the cloud security, I'm like 90%, or should I say 80% done writing it, right? I just need to start building the labs, and that's why if you go to the website and you sign up for the course is not available there yet. For the live class, I'm not teaching cybersecurity or cloud security. It's just AWS. Okay, so for the live class, there's not going to be cybersecurity or cloud security, right? That's going to
I
be
was talking about
included.
AWS.
Oh, AWS.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, you're asking about my live AWS class.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so what exactly it's starting February 4th. Is there any other sorry, maybe I didn't catch the question.
Yeah, the question was, have you already like filled up the spot? Because I wanted to join.
No. It's not filled yet. No. I'm still yeah. Please feel free to go ahead and sign up and join. If it's full, I think I would have been notified, but no, it's still open. Okay, so yes, go ahead and
Okay,
sign up.
all right.
Yeah. And please, if
Okay, so
yeah,
if you don't,
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll send you an email. That way you can send me the link on how to sign up.
Oh, it's very easy. Just go to yescertified.com, and in the front page you see information on how to sign up.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right. Thanks.
yescertified.com. Yes, yescertified.com. Yeah.
Okay,
All right, cool. Thanks for your question.
thanks.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Something came to my mind I wanted to mention. Okay, now let me switch to Zoom to Instagram Live now because I see a question. I'm already a security specialist, GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. I need to do cloud security. What would you advise me? What I'll advise you is, you know, learn about cloud security services, right? Those are the things you want to highlight on your resume, right? As a cloud security professional architect that's going to come into a company, what cloud security services do you know about? Have you worked with, right? So, and that's why I'm building that course as well, right? A cloud security, cybersecurity course. Okay, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for this past few months. It's just that there's a lot is going on. But trust me, I am working on the cloud security, cybersecurity course, and once I've started making the videos, they will start going into that on-demand course bundle, right, on my website. Okay, so for GRC looking to become cloud security, you need to learn cloud security tools, and also get the security certifications. Okay, I know CISSP can be challenging, but keep that somewhere. CISSP, CCSP, set those as goals, I should say. Okay, but for now, maybe start with the AWS Certified Security Specialty certification. I have that showing on my screen here. If you're on Zoom and you're able to see that, I don't know what slide number this is, but if you scroll all the way down at some point, you see the list for in the cybersecurity section. So those two things that I highlight, those two certifications that I highlight, set those as a goal. And this is for Olu, okay? Olu from Instagram. All right. I hope that answers your question. Okay. So next year I have Peter. Peter has been waiting for a while now. Let me go ahead and allow Peter to speak. I'm going to unmute Zoom as well. I just realized I did not unmute Zoom. So I'm going to unmute my lovely Zoom attendees as well. And allow you to. So, all right. So Peter, go ahead.
Thank you very much for this seminar.
You're welcome.
I'm on a 2-year journey. I'm on a 2-year journey in my backend engineering, still trying to get into tech fully. But I'm currently volunteering for some companies. But I would like to, my opinion is I'm trying to add cloud computing to leverage backend engineering. I want to advise on, should I do that or I just stick to backend engineering and the specialization, or I can add cloud to it just to leverage my skills in backend engineering?
Okay, so good question, Peter. When you say backend engineering, what tools are you working with today?
I'm working with Python in Django.
Oh, I mean, you have a solid tech background there. So, definitely, like I mentioned this at some time in the call, try to go for the Solutions Architect Associate. Okay? The Solutions Architect Associate. That will open up more doors, right, than the Developer Associate. Okay? That's my recommendation. All right. So AWS Solutions Architect Associate Certification, I'll say you go for that. Okay, you go for that. If you're based here in the US, you're able to join my class to learn, the hands-on that I'll be teaching in my classes. Yes, go ahead and join my live class as well, right? If you want to join my on-demand class, I have 30-day free trial. Join that to get a feel of what this is all about. But in terms of certification, the AWS Solutions Architect Associate, in terms of doing hands-on in cloud, which I do recommend with this awesome background that you have, knowing Python and Django, then my courses. Okay, but yes, definitely learn cloud. It will make you stand out more. Does that help, Peter?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome. All right. So we have, well, actually it's 3:30, but I don't mind staying another 10 minutes. Let me take. Is everyone on Zoom able to unmute themselves? I think there may be a lock on unmuting yourself on Zoom here. Let me look at the chat real quick. Where's my chat? Is everyone able to let me know on Zoom? Are you able to unmute yourself and ask a question, or you're not able to unmute yourself? For those on Zoom, you're not able to unmute yourself. Allow participants to unmute. Okay, how about now? So if you have a question on Zoom, try to unmute now and ask a question. So for those on LinkedIn and Instagram, the next question I'm taking is from Zoom. Okay, it's from Zoom. So let's listen. Who has a question on Zoom before we jump to another one?
Hello?
Yeah, hi, I can hear you. Good. Yeah, this is from Zoom.
This is Amin.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I just sent you my information on LinkedIn. I DM'd you on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Please get back with me. I am a data center at AWS.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out how to get into cloud.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
I am an L2 also, so it's getting like I've been there for almost 1 year.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how to further maneuver through AWS.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, yeah. I'll accept your invite and I'll send you my handle and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
welcome. All right. Thanks.
Hi. I do have
Hi.
a question. I did send you in the group and a personal message as well.
Okay.
So I have like business management degree and business administration degree, and I want to pursue a career in IT.
Good.
So I want to know from where I need to start and what courses I need to take to get a starting in the IT career.
Yeah.
This is
So
Aisha.
yeah. So Aisha, I just like to keep this simple, right? For those that ask me this question, you're coming from this background, that background. Sign up for my course. right, I provide you with a 30-day free trial, right? 30-day free trial. Start with Linux, right? But before that, I do share some videos on some basic tech skills that you should know. Okay, so Aisha, join my live class, right? Or sign up for my on-demand course, right? Whichever of those, if you're able to join my live class, of course, that's gonna be my number one, because you have me there. You have my contact information. I'll be able to help you, one-on-one, right? You take my course, and also we follow up after the course to help you as much as I can. So two options, right? Either join my live class or join my on-demand course. Okay. And I explained earlier, joining my if you get a spot in my live class, you get unlimited access, lifetime access to my on-demand course. Okay, so Aisha, that's my recommendation. I'll also help you see, if you should start with the CCP or Solutions Architect Associate. But yeah, I would love to work with you to see how I can help you. As long as you have the determination and commitment, to want to do this. And this also might change after watching the first few videos, right? You might see that, okay, maybe you don't like the terminal, you don't like how but trust me, well, the way I teach, I try to make things very, very easy. I repeat myself a lot, and I keep people that are coming from a non-tech background, I keep them in mind when I write these courses, okay, and when I teach these courses, when I do these labs, right? So, and I've been getting a lot of great feedback from people about my teaching style, and that's why I continue to do this, right? A lot of people believe in me. A lot of people like how I teach, how I make things very, very easy to follow. So definitely, sign up for my courses, whichever one you're able to, the live class or the on-demand class, and let's go from there. All right, I hope that helps. All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. I'm gonna take one more question, and I'll have to end all of these channels. So let's see. Okay. I don't see anything. So one more person from LinkedIn. Okay, let me take one more person from LinkedIn. Unless there's someone else who wants to quickly unmute on Zoom. One.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll take one more from Zoom and one more from LinkedIn, and we'll end the call. Right? If I forget to say it, of course I won't forget. Thank you all for joining. For those that might need to drop, thank you for joining. You have the link to the slides on the LinkedIn event page in the comment section on the LinkedIn event page. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Right? Go to my website to see the courses that I'm working on, that I'm building. Right? And yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn, and let's go from there. Okay? All right. Someone else was asking a question on Zoom. So, sorry, I didn't mean to. Go ahead. Yeah.
So you saying the February 4th you're starting the AWS Solution Architect live class, right?
Yeah, AWS hands-on I don't call it Solutions Architect class. I call it AWS hands-on intensive class. Okay, so it's yeah.
So how about recently I passed the Security Plus the certificate by CompTIA.
Oh, good.
So I impressed Security Plus by CompTIA. So I'm interested in cybersecurity. So if I get your on-demand videos from cybersecurity videos from So after completing these, how about do you help with like the resume preparation and like becoming mentor and everything?
Yeah. So becoming mentor and resume and all of that, and like talking to you maybe on the phone or like on Zoom one-on-one. That comes if you're able to get into my live class, right? And just to clarify, right? The cybersecurity. Sorry.
Not on the buying on demand.
Yeah, not the on demand. I do have like a 1 hour call on weekends, right? That you can join to ask me questions. That's that, right? But if you join the live class, then like you can have my contact information and all of that, and we can try to work one-on-one together. But here's another thing, right? The cybersecurity, I'm clarifying. If you actually go to sign up, you would see that I put a message there that the cybersecurity and the cloud security, the videos are not uploaded yet. Okay? Yeah. I'm still writing the course. I'm almost done writing the course, and I'm gonna start making the videos as soon as I'm done with the AWS videos. Okay? So that's why the price is lower than what the final price will be, right? So $4.99 as opposed to $7.99. I hope that makes sense.
So you for the live class AWS, you said just cloud. Is it cloud security or just?
It's just cloud. It's just cloud. We're just gonna learn cloud. Yeah, not cloud security.
You will be teaching the hands-on, right?
Yes, it's gonna be hands-on. How to work in AWS, how to host applications on AWS, and some security stuff as well, but not like a dedicated security course.
Oh, because the reason I'm asking last year I took a course with a solution architect, then AWS solution architect, but they didn't help us after completing the course. They didn't help any student with their resume preparation or anything. That's why I'm like
Oh yeah, so for me, that's what I'm doing with my live classes. Okay, with my live classes, if you're able to join, then I would help you with resume preparation. We'll go as far as mock interviews. To just try to help you as much as I can. I don't guarantee that I'm going to get you a job. Please note that I never use the word guarantee. If I see guarantee in things, I run when I see guarantee. Like, nobody can guarantee anything. We can only try our best to help as much as we can. So I will help looking at your resume, recommendations, doing mock interviews, and all of that. Is that clear? Does that make sense?
So if you sign up for the class in February, we will have access to.
So how much is the fee for a live class?
So the live class is $500.
$500.
Yes. So
thank you so much.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, sister.
If you join in February that class.
Yeah.
Do we have access to live class and on demand also?
Yes. If you're able to get into the live class, you will never have to pay monthly fee for the on-demand class. So even when I complete that on-demand class, you're gonna always have access to it because you were able to get into one of my live classes. So you join the live class. We do the 5-day hands-on intensive. After that, I'll give you access to my on-demand course, so you never have to pay a monthly fee for that. And that will give you access to my cybersecurity course, cloud security course, and you never have to pay a monthly fee.
Seats are still available, right?
Yes, seats are still available.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, who else? Wait, I think I can stay here for as long as you guys want me to. I still see a lot of people on LinkedIn. Wow, there's still over close to 70 people on LinkedIn. If you have a question, please come up. I think I'll wait. I'll stay here till 4. To answer your questions. So let me take here Nagesha. Sorry, Zoom. I have to. Please hold on Zoom right now. I'll come back to Zoom again. So if you're on Zoom, please go ahead and mute yourself. And I'll come back to Zoom shortly. Let me go to LinkedIn right now. I see Nagesha. Let me allow you to come up. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Go ahead. What's your question? I think I see your mic on mute, so feel free to unmute and ask.
Hi, Kabir. My name is Nagesh.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hi. I can hear you.
In AWS, what type of lab will be there in your training? So that's my questions.
In AWS, let's see. We'll start with IAM, right? See how we provision users, add MFA, use the S3 service, right, to host applications that we're going to deploy on servers, launch servers, build our own network, right? We'll stay away from, we'll use the default, but we'll also create our own custom networks that we're going to use, and a host of other things, right? Learn how to host different types of applications.
Are you doing EKS and ECS, Kubernetes and container service in AWS?
That's a good question. Not for now, but I do plan to add that at some point. But for this session, No, but I don't know. I may be able to squeeze something in at the end, but it's not like there right now that I'm teaching it. But just because you brought it up, I may just put one or two things in there. But I'm not guaranteeing. But it's a great idea that I've been thinking about, and I do plan to have that included at some point.
Okay. Thank you. One more thing, you are training for DevOps also?
DevOps, not right now. Yeah, DevOps, not right now. No, not right now. Even if I'm going to do anything on DevOps, it's going to be, and I've been thinking about this, it's going to be a DevSecOps course, okay, as opposed to DevOps. As you know, my background is security, so I'll rather teach something on DevSecOps as opposed to DevOps, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you
for all right, thank you. All right, so let me take someone else now on. So one more from LinkedIn, and one more from. I keep saying one more, but I said I can be here till 4. All right, let's see here. Let me see. Ibrahim. Let's allow Ibrahim up. Okay, Ibrahim, go ahead. What's your question? Hello? All right, so I think something happened to Ibrahim. Patrick is a very familiar face I always see on LinkedIn. Hey, Patrick. Oh, is that? Sorry, I don't know if I'm going according. I'm just like randomly picking. Sorry, guys. I think Patrick. I think Chidozie might be in front of you. I really don't know if LinkedIn is putting this in order, but Chidozie, I'll bring you up after Patrick. I'm sorry if I'm not doing this order. Patrick, go ahead. Can Patrick hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Hi, what's your question? Thanks for joining.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for having this. This is really awesome.
Thank you.
My question was, so for your course, how long is the course, and is your course prepare everyone who take it to be able to be ready for the exam?
That's a great question. The course is more of hands-on skills to get you job ready, right? As opposed to I'm training you to go and sit for a certification exam, right? That would take a lot, some more resources for you to use, right? And I do recommend. I have courses that I recommend for that, right? If you want to sit and for the exam, which I do recommend at some point, right? That people should try to get the certifications, right? But for me, in this class, what you learn, no doubt, it will help you in your journey to becoming certified. But this class is not sold as, come, I'm teaching you this class so you can sit and pass this exam. No. This class is more of, come, let's do hands-on, let's put this hands-on our resume, and let's start applying to job. Does that make sense, Patrick?
Yes.
Thank you.
And how long it takes?
It's 5 days on weekends only. It's 5 days on weekends only, and it's on weekend because, as you all know, we all work, right? So, yeah, 5 days on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays only.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next person, let's go back to Zoom. I'm gonna allow Chidozie up, but Chidozie, I'll allow you up, but please give me 1 second. Let me take someone from Zoom. Okay. All right. So let me unlock Zoom right now. All right. Anybody from Zoom? Any questions on Zoom? Is there anyone on Zoom that has any questions? Hello? Sorry, I'm saying hello. Is anyone on Zoom have a question? Are you able to unmute yourself on Zoom? If you have a question, before I go back to LinkedIn, please ask your question now on Zoom. Sorry, I know my voice is a little bit. I caught cold a few days ago, so still have like. If there are no questions, let me just go. Yeah, all the information are on the website. All information is on website for joining my training sessions. the link to the, actually before I forget, for those of you on Zoom, let me post the link to the slides for all of you. Okay, let me post it in the chat. Let me post it in the chat. All right, link to the slides. So for those of you on Zoom, if you go into your chat now, everyone, I'm going to post the link to the slides. Okay. All right. So if there are no questions on Zoom, I'm gonna go back now to LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, I have a question for that. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
It's more of an advice actually for somebody who does not have any background in IT.
Yeah.
What advice can you give?
If you don't have a background in IT, yeah, I mean, just come with a determination to learn, right?
Okay.
You want to put in time, you want to learn a new skill, and I think you won't know until like your first few weeks into learning different topics, right? So start my course. It doesn't cost you anything today. 30-day free trial. If you want the on-demand course, right? If you want to join the live class, go ahead and sign up for that as well, right? I invite those without tech backgrounds as well to join the live class, right? Because at the end of the day, you're still gonna get access to my on-demand course. You can go back, and watch the videos again. But that comes with an advantage. Please excuse me, guys. I need to like blow my 1 second. Oh, what a relief. All right, so yeah, 30-day free trial. Sign up and then just start watching the videos. But start from the very beginning, okay? If you're coming without a tech background, start with the YouTube videos I recommend, okay? And watch those multiple times if you have to, all right? So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, yes. All right, next person on LinkedIn, Chidoze, feel free to unmute. You might be wondering how I'm saying your name so perfectly. I don't know if you were here in the beginning of the call. I'm Nigerian, so I know how to pronounce our names very well. All right, Chidoze, unmute and ask your question. Is Chidoze still there? Okay, let's move on. Chidoze, you're on mute, so maybe we cannot hear because you're on mute. But let me allow someone else up. Daniel. Okay, Daniel. Yeah, go ahead. What's your question?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So I just recently did my CCP and I'm studying towards my solutions architect. I just wanted to know, like, in what depth do I need to know, like, Linux administration?
So in what depth do you need to know Linux administration? So you trying to like sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I've just been told by a lot of people to like learn some Linux, but I don't know if I need to take an advanced course or
yeah.
It's not really sure.
Okay, to get a job in cloud. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for entry level role.
So for entry level role in cloud, great question. And this is exactly because I do get these questions, and because I know myself, right, that you should know some Linux. That's why I started my course, the one that I have online on Teachable. That is why I started with Linux actually, right? So I went over very important Linux commands you should know. So you're not learning to be a Linux administrator. No. You're just learning so you have foundational skills in Linux. Okay, so I do have a Linux section in my course. If you look at it. Yeah.
Okay, and what was your website called again?
YesCertified.com. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Do you have the link to the slides for this talk as well? I hope you got the link to the slides. Everything's in there as well. Okay, cool.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right. How about we take one more, since I only see one more hand on LinkedIn. So one more hand on LinkedIn, and that's it. Chidozie, I think there's something wrong with your audio. We couldn't hear. Okay, looks like it's working now.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, good.
Sorry for that.
No problem. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for joining.
I want to ask a question regarding the live class. I won't be able to join this February, but I was like, if I could register now, I'm probably, let's say, probably the end of the year or second round of the class, then I join in if it's possible. And I also want to ask, since your cybersecurity and cloud security class is not yet out, is it possible for those that register for this live classes for AWS to be able to partake in the upcoming classes, in the upcoming live classes as well, just like a bonus or something like an attachment to it?
So, yeah. So for your first question, you want to sign up, but you're not able to join the February one. That's fine.
Yes, time schedule for some other factors.
Right. So you can join, and if I did end up moving forward with that class, I will give you a. I think the second question was if we could get a bonus access to my on-demand course. Is that what you said?
No. What I said is that if I could get a bonus for probably maybe if you host a live class on maybe cloud security or cybersecurity
Okay.
and if being a participant in this class
Yeah.
also gave me that leverage to benefit from the other class as a live attendee.
That's a great question. And if I do end up, maybe after completing my cybersecurity and cloud security courses, and then I want to host a live session for it as well. Yes, I will provide discount for those that have signed up for my live classes before. That's a good point you brought. But not like 100%. But yeah. I mean, I can do that. I have no yeah. Yeah, I can do that. I do plan to have live classes in cybersecurity and cloud security as well at some point, right? But no promises yet about anything. But if I do, yes, I will plan to create some type of like coupon code for those that have taken my live classes before to get a discount to join that class. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yes, and I also want to ask on that question for someone really interested in cloud security. Please, what route or roadmap you have as person to take from probably step to step to take towards achieving that goal or towards reaching that goal? And will you advise that person to take all the associate level AWS certifications and probably professional certification before diving deeper into cloud security also?
Yeah, so here's my recommendation for that. Start with the associate solutions architect, right? If you don't have none at all and you don't have and maybe you have some tech background, start with the solutions architect associate. Even if you don't have a tech background, I mentioned a story earlier about someone I mentored who skipped the foundational CCP one. But overall, start with the solutions architect associate, and then the certified security specialty. That's what I did. Okay, solutions architect associate, and then the certified security specialty certification, all from AWS, right? And then definitely my hands-on course, right? Because what I'm putting in this course is things that I work with, that I see people asking a lot about, right? So my cybersecurity and cloud security course, as a roadmap, just look out for me uploading videos on that, because the topics I will be talking about and teaching and doing labs on, very, very will make your resume stand out. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, Chidozie.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so it's 2 minutes before 4 o'clock. Let me go back to Zoom now and take one final question. I'm so sorry. I see some hands up on LinkedIn. Maybe I'll take one more. I think I was about to allow Ibrahim earlier, so I'll bring Ibrahim up. Ibrahim, please hold on 1 second. For those on Zoom, anyone wants to unmute and ask one more question? This is the final question on Zoom for today. Just one more. That's it. Okay, go ahead.
I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
This is Norm.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So I'm actually now doing IT information associate degree at CCBC. I'm a student.
What are you doing? Sorry, I didn't catch that. What are you studying?
Information technology associate degree.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but this is my first start at this field, but I don't know where I'm gonna go for future. So I just want to hear your advice and how I'm gonna earn some maybe experience with this field.
Yeah. Oh, my advice for you is to learn cloud. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it very simple. Learn cloud. Companies are moving to the cloud, and as I mentioned earlier in this talk, it's only a matter of time, right? Companies are realizing the benefit of moving to the cloud, so they are moving to the cloud, and that's why many of the jobs you see today in security, database, AI, ML, whatever it is, they're asking for some cloud knowledge. So learn cloud, follow the work I do. Let's put it that way. Follow the work I do. Follow me on LinkedIn. Sign up for my course if you're able to, right? The on-demand one or the live class, and let's go from there. Okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. All right, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks. Bye. All right, so that's that for Zoom. Thank you all for joining on Zoom. One more from LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn Audio, and so Ibrahim, go ahead.
How are you doing, Mukhtar? And,
good.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us this wonderful talk.
Thank you. Thanks for joining.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have never, I want to tell you, I've never get tired of listening to your lectures.
Oh, thank you.
Since, I have been following your lectures on YouTube.
Thank you.
Once you put there on YouTube, week 1 down to week 19.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very interesting.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm happy that I'm here also.
Thank you.
I am a fiber optics engineer at Huawei here in Nigeria.
Oh, so, nice. All the way from Nigeria.
Yeah, Nigeria, yeah.
Nice,
so,
nice.
I really want to switch to cybersecurity.
Okay.
And particularly cloud security.
Uh-huh.
So I have been doing some fundamental stuff like that. I have been on Azure, and I've taken some certifications on Azure, like the fundamentals,
Uh-huh.
AI, AZ900, and SC900, like that. So I have written all those, and I have written also the AWS CCP.
Okay.
And I have passed. So, but I actually don't know exactly what I'm supposed to grab, like the main thing I'm supposed to grab to continue going on this field. And I really want to be a solutions architect. I even want to start from Huawei, but changing from fiber optics engineer down to a cloud engineer is a very big issue, very big problem in Huawei. It's not easy, especially when your supervisor know that you are doing the right thing, so it's not easy for you to switch like
yes.
that. So, but I also get some certifications from Huawei also, like the associate level SCIA, Huawei certificate for cloud computing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking up to writing the professional, but I really want the AWS certification.
Yes.
So what I want to ask is, how can someone get a chance, because I'm still within the basics. So how can someone, I have seen so many opportunity of getting internship, but even when you apply, it's hardly you get. So is there anything someone is missing, or what is it?
So yeah, so great question, Ibrahim. So what I would recommend is, I mean, you already have a tech background. That's already a plus, right? You already have a tech background. That's a plus, right? I know AWS is growing in Nigeria, right? I've seen posts from several individuals that are top people there in Nigeria in AWS, right, about positions in cloud, right, in AWS. So if you plan to make that move, I would say, start with the certifications. Okay. Did you say that you have the CCP already? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I have the CCP.
Good.
Yeah, I have the CCP.
Yeah, so just continue, do a lot of hands-on, right, and just build your resume for the jobs that are out there, right? For hands-on labs, continue to use my resources. Thanks for the great feedback that you provided about my YouTube videos. If you haven't signed up online, yeah. Okay, so if you haven't signed up online, thank you. Yeah. So sign up for my online one as well, right? Because those are more updated, right? The one on my website, yescertified.com. Those are more updated than YouTube ones. And then just follow my work. Use my template resume when you're ready. You know that you have those skills as well. And it's just a matter of you keep on applying. All right. But I'll recommend you try to stand out with certifications. Okay, that will really show a lot, right? The tech background is there. All of this will go into your resume, but make your resume shine with Solutions Architect Associate, and at some point the Solutions Architect Professional. Okay, so set those as goals, and with your continuous effort and hard work, applying to jobs regularly when you're ready. At some point, something will work out. Yeah, but it's a great field to get into, no doubt about that. Yeah, even in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone. I really appreciate those of you that stayed. This is like 36 minutes over the event. Thank you. Thank you for supporting all of the work I do. Thanks for being part of the website, following me on LinkedIn. All of this just motivates me to continue doing this, right? There are people that want to listen to me and hear me talk and teach and speak. All right, I appreciate it. When I host this event and I see like 500 attendees, 300 attendees, it really makes me continue to want to do this. So thank you everyone. I really appreciate you all. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I will continue to try as much as possible to answer all of the LinkedIn question messages I get. So don't say that, oh, you're not going to respond to trust me, I respond to at least 70% of the messages. So connect, follow, and I'll see you all in my next event. Watch out for my YouTube shorts, right? Where I give you like short cloud architecture bites, right? Solutions to different technical problems. So Instagram. So I'll post it on Instagram and LinkedIn and all that. But yeah, just follow me on social media to stay updated. Thanks everyone, and I'll talk to you all soon. All right, thanks and bye for now. How do we end this live? Okay. All right, let's see. How do you end this on LinkedIn? Okay, end the room. Okay.